our culture is competitive, man.
Right.
It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that he want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still competing. It just don't make sense.
The explosive industry war that's breaking the internet hold up. The music industry just exploded, and nobody's talking about it the way they should be. We're about to expose the wildest power play that'll make your jaw drop. 2 rap legends just declared war on hip-hop's most powerful couple, and honey, the receipts are everywhere. What's good, drama fam? Before we dive into this absolute madness, smash that like button because this story is about to have you shook. Hit subscribe because you do not want to miss what's coming next. Today we're unpacking the industry meltdown that's got Twitter in complete chaos. Career sabotage, stolen credits, mysterious deaths, and manipulation so twisted it reads like a Hollywood thriller. Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson, and Marshall Eminem Mathers have officially joined forces, and they're coming for Jay Z and Beyoncé. With everything they've got, this ain't your typical rap drama. This is straight-up business warfare. With careers getting destroyed and lives potentially on the line, 50's been dropping hints for years about shady business moves happening behind closed doors. The man literally built his brand on calling out fake behavior, and now he's got his sights set on hip-hop royalty. And Eminem, don't even get me started. This man's been weaving warnings about industry corruption into his lyrics since day one. Those cryptic bars everyone thought were just artistic expression. Yeah, turns out they might have been receipts all along. The gatekeepers don't want you to see what's really happening, M said in a recent interview. That's got fans dissecting every single word. But here's where it gets really juicy. Remember the 2023 Super Bowl halftime drama that had the internet in flames? Well, buckle up, because the real story is even more twisted than we thought. 50 Cent just revealed that Jay Z straight up tried to block him from performing at the biggest stage in entertainment. We're talking about using NFL connections to sabotage another artist's moment. That's not competition, that's straight up villainy. But plot twist, Eminem wasn't having a NY of it. When Marshall heard what was going down, he reportedly went nuclear behind the scenes, fighting tooth and nail to make sure 50 got his spot. One industry insider spilled M was ready to walk if they didn't include 50. He told them straight up, we're a package deal or no deal at all. And that's when the real war began. Y'all thought the Grammy controversies were just artists being salty about losing. Think again. Both 50 and M are now claiming the entire Grammy system is more rigged than a carnival game. We're talking about votes being bought, deals being made in back rooms, and awards going to whoever's got the most industry pull. 50 Cent dropped this bomb on social media. DJ's Grammy wins ain't about the music, fam. It's about who's sharing his bed. Facts. The audacity. But wait, it gets worse. Eminem's been boycotting the Grammys for years now, and fans always wondered why. Well, now we know. According to sources close to the rapper, Grammy producers use his name to promote the show for ratings, then deliberately deny him wins to create controversy and boost viewership. They're using me as clickbait, Eminem allegedly told his team. I'm done being their puppet. And when Beyoncé finally won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, instead of celebrating, fans started asking questions. Real uncomfortable questions. Remember, Jay Z's weird Grammy acceptance speech that had everyone scratching their heads. The one where he seemed to be complaining about Beyoncé not winning enough while she's literally the most awarded artist in Grammy history. Twitter went OFF. Why does Jay sound pressed when his wife literally owns the Grammys? This speech feels like damage control for something we don't know about yet. The way he's overcompensating is giving me major guilty vibes. NGL fans started connecting dots that maybe weren't supposed to be connected. And once the internet starts investigating, well, you know how that goes. Now we're getting into the really dark territory. And I need y'all to buckle up because this section is heavy. Multiple sources are claiming that Jay Z and Beyoncé have been systematically destroying careers for decades. We're not talking about healthy competition. We're talking about allegedly using their massive influence to bury talent that might threaten their throne. Jaguar Wright, a former collaborator, has been spilling tea that's got the entire industry shook. She's claiming that people who got too close to Jay Z's level of success either mysteriously disappeared from the spotlight or, worse. Everyone who was supposed to be the next big thing around Jay either got pushed out or something happened to them. Wright said in a viral interview that's racked up millions of views. That ain't coincidence. Let's talk about Big L, a Harlem legend who was supposed to be the next king of New York rap. Dude was signed to Columbia, had his own label, was making serious moves, and then he was gunned down in 1999. Case went cold. No arrests. No justice. The internet's asking uncomfortable questions. Why do all of Jay's potential rivals end up dead or forgotten? Big L was about to blow up and suddenly he's gone. Make it make sense. But here's the kicker. Big L isn't the only name. On this list, Darkman X was one of the few rappers brave enough to call Jay Z out directly while he was alive. And boy, did he have things to say. DMX believed Jake deliberately sabotaged his career when Jay was running Def Jam. We're talking about delaying album releases, limiting promotion, and basically ensuring DMX couldn't reach his full potential. Jay held back my 6th album so he could drop his comeback, DMX told fans before his passing. Everything that man does is calculated to keep everyone else down. The timing of DMX's claims. Suspicious, the man spoke truth to power and paid the price with his career trajectory. Fans are now saying DMX tried to warn us and we weren't listening. He knew what was happening behind the scenes. Rest in power to a real one who wasn't afraid to speak up. Beanie Sigel's story is probably the most calculated example of alleged career sabotage we've heard yet. According to Beanie, every time he was about to drop an album, Jay Z would mysteriously release his album at the exact same time. Not once, not twice, multiple times. It wasn't no coincidence, Beanie said in interviews that have resurfaced and gone viral. Every move that man made was to keep my shine limited. He'd flood the market right when I was supposed to have my moment. Think about it, you're about to drop your biggest project, you've got the promotion lined up, the hype is building, and then your label boss drops his album the same week, taking all the media attention and radio play. That's not business. That's sabotage. Social media is not having it. This is so calculated and evil. Jay really said, not on my watch, to his own artists. The pattern is clear once you see it. Now let's talk about Queen Bee. Because honey, these allegations are wild. The internet is claiming Beyoncé has been just as involved in destroying other women's careers. We're talking about a systematic approach to eliminating any female artist who might challenge her throne. Remember, the case of the ex-queen who was everywhere in the early 2000s. Well, fans are now saying her career mysteriously flatlined after she allegedly refused Jay Z's advances. She was supposed to be the next big R&B star, then suddenly, crickets, one fan posted, and the rumors about WHY are making my stomach turn. Mia's team has never confirmed these allegations, but the timeline is, Interesting. Y'all remember, when Carrie Hilson seemingly came for Beyoncé out of nowhere? Well, plot twist, she might have been set up. According to recent revelations, Carrie was allegedly tricked into recording what became perceived as a diss track. When she realized what happened and refused to play along with the industry games, she got blackballed. They made me look like the villain when I was just trying to make music, Carrie reportedly told friends. The threats that followed weren't just about my career. The internet is connecting dots. Carrie was young and got manipulated into industry drama. They used her as a scapegoat and then destroyed her career. The fact that she disappeared right after speaks volumes. Even Kellis got caught up in this alleged web of manipulation. When Beyoncé sampled Milkshake without permission or credit, Kellis had to find out from fans on social media. I found out the same way y'all did through Twitter notifications, Kellis said. No call, no credit, no respect. Beyoncé quietly removed the sample, but never publicly addressed the situation. The silence spoke volumes. Here's where the producer situation gets sketchy. Rico Harrison was the mastermind behind Mary's One Thing. You know that song that had everyone obsessed. Well, right around the time Beyoncé started working with Jay Z, Harrison suddenly stopped working with Emery and helped create Crazy in Love instead. Coincidence? The internet thinks not. They literally stole Emery's producer and then acted like nothing happened. Fans are saying, the pattern is clear. They see talent. They take what they want. They discard the original artist before his death. Beyoncé's former bodyguard, Uncle Ron, was allegedly ready to spill major tea about what he witnessed while working for the power couple. According to sources, Uncle Ron claimed he had proof of career sabotage, systematic destruction of rising stars, and manipulation that would shock the world. He never got the chance to tell his story. The timing of his passing. Fans are asking questions that are making everyone uncomfortable. He said he had receipts, and then, too many people close to this situation end up silent permanently. Uncle Ron knew something and they made sure he couldn't talk, and here's where things get really dark. Family. Jay Z and Beyoncé's close relationship with Diddy is now under a microscope, especially with all the legal drama surrounding Bad Boy Records. A woman involved in recent lawsuits claimed she was pressured into silence after mysterious visitors showed up at her door. The implications are terrifying. Fans are connecting dots between the Carters and Diddy that paint a picture of an industry-wide conspiracy to maintain power at any cost. The same names keep coming up in every scandal. Twitter users are posting, "This ain't coincidence." So where does this leave us today? 50 Cent is currently using his massive platform to expose what he claims are ongoing attempts by Jay Z to block his business moves. We're talking about behind-the-scenes interference with TV deals, brand partnerships, and major collaborations. Even now, this man is trying to sabotage my money. 50 posted on Instagram, but I got receipts for everything. Eminem, meanwhile, has been dropping subtle references in his recent features that have fans analyzing every bar for hidden messages about industry corruption. The alliance between these two is unprecedented. We're talking about two artists who've sold over 100 million records combined, have massive platforms, and absolutely nothing left to lose. Social media is absolutely losing IT over these allegations. The way 50 and Em teamed up has me convinced this is all true. Y'all remember when artists used to mysteriously disappear from the industry? Now we know, why, the Carters really had us fooled for decades. This explains why certain artists never reach their full potential. I'm never looking at award shows the same way again. TikTok users are creating viral videos connecting Instagram is flooded with fan theories. And Twitter threads about this topic are getting millions of views. The list of people who've allegedly been affected by the Carters' rise to power keeps growing. Big L mysteriously murdered DMX career, allegedly sabotaged Beanie Sigel, systematically overshadowed, MA career mysteriously stalled, Carrie Hilson set up and blackballed, Kellis work stolen, without credit, AMRE producer allegedly poached. Uncle Ron silenced permanently, Aaliyah suspicious circumstances. Mary J. Blige, early career struggles, and according to 50 and Em, this list is just the tip of the iceberg. When you look at career after career that seemingly stalled right when they might have challenged the Carter dynasty, it becomes harder to dismiss everything as unrelated events. If even half of these allegations are true, it would explain so much about why certain artists never reach their full potential despite having all the talent in the world. It would explain the weird politics around award shows, the mysterious career trajectories, and why so many artists seem afraid to speak out against certain industry figures. Think about it. How many times have you wondered why a talented artist just disappeared? Or why certain collaborations never happened? Or why some albums got delayed for mysterious reasons? The pieces are starting to form a picture that's honestly terrifying. What we're potentially looking at is a power structure so entrenched and so protective of itself that it's willing to destroy careers, manipulate award systems, and allegedly, worse, to maintain control. If the Carters really have been systematically eliminating competition for decades, it would explain their unprecedented dominance in an industry that's supposed to be about talent and creativity. But here's the thing, power structures like this only work when everyone stays silent, when people like 50 and Em start talking, when fans start connecting dots, when social media makes it impossible to control the narrative, that single quotes as when everything starts to fall apart. The biggest challenge with allegations like these is proof. We're talking about backroom deals, private conversations, and systematic manipulation that would have been designed to leave no paper trail. But what we do have is patterns. We have timelines, we have multiple sources telling similar stories, we have suspicious coincidences that keep adding up. Most importantly, we have people with nothing to gain and everything to lose, still choosing to speak out. That's usually when you know something real is happening. What's wild is watching fans process this information in real time. People who've been Beyoncé and Jay Z stans for years are starting to question everything they thought they knew. Comments like, "I feel so naive for not seeing the patterns. This explains why my favorite artists never made it. I'm questioning every Grammy win now. The industry really had us fooled." But there are also defenders pushing back. Y'all will believe anything without proof. Success always brings haters. This is just jealousy disguised as allegations. The divide is real, and it's only getting wider as more information comes out. One thing that's been noticeable throughout all of this, the relative silence from Jay Z and Beyoncé's camp. Usually, when allegations this serious surface, there's immediate pushback from publicists, legal teams, and the artists themselves. The fact that we're getting mostly silence is interesting. Either they're letting their lawyers handle everything behind the scenes, or they're hoping this blows over without giving it more attention by responding. But in the age of social media, silence can be just as loud as speaking up, and fans are definitely noticing. Let's be real about something. Eminem getting involved changes everything. This is someone who's been relatively quiet about industry politics for years, focusing on his music and his personal growth. For Marshall to step into this kind of controversy, something significant must have pushed him over the edge. Eminem's fanbase is massive and incredibly loyal. When he speaks, people listen. When he takes a stand, it carries weight. The fact that he's willing to potentially burn bridges with some of the most powerful people in the industry tells you how serious this is to him. 50's approach to this whole situation has been masterful from a strategic standpoint. He's not just making random accusations, he's building a narrative, piece by piece, post by post. He's letting the audience connect the dots themselves, rather than just dropping everything at once. This keeps the story in the news cycle longer, gets more people talking, and makes it harder to dismiss everything as just another rap beef. 50 understands media manipulation better than almost anyone in the industry. So if he's choosing this approach, it's because he believes he can win this war. We're living through a cultural moment where people are more willing to question powerful figures and institutions than ever before. The hashtag #MeToo movement, the conversations about Harvey Weinstein, the Jeffrey Epstein case, all of these have shown that people we thought were untouchable can actually face consequences when enough people speak up. These allegations against Jay Z and Beyoncé are happening in that context, which means they're being taken more seriously than they might have been even 5 years ago. People are less willing to accept that's just how the industry works, as an excuse for allegedly predatory behavior. What's also interesting is how younger artists and fans are reacting to all this. Gen Z and younger millennials who grew up with social media are much more willing to question authority and demand transparency. They're not as impressed by traditional markers of success if they think that success came at the expense of others. They want to know how you got to the top, not just that you're there. Social media has completely changed how these kinds of stories develop and spread. In the past, industry figures could control the narrative through traditional media relationships, but now a TikTok video connecting dots can get millions of views. A Twitter thread can trend worldwide. Instagram posts can bypass traditional gatekeepers entirely. 50 Cent and Eminem are using these platforms masterfully to get their message out, without having to go through industry-controlled media outlets. The Carter's traditional PR strategies might not be as effective in this new media landscape. Let's talk about what's really at stake here financially. Jay Z and Beyoncé's combined net worth is estimated at over $2 billion. Their business empire spans music, fashion, alcohol, sports, and entertainment. If these allegations significantly damage their brands, we're talking about potential losses in the hundreds of millions of dollars. That's serious enough money to explain why there might be desperate attempts to silence critics or control narratives. Beyond money, we're talking about cultural legacy. Jay Z and Beyoncé aren't just entertainers, they're cultural icons who've influenced fashion, politics, and social movements. If these allegations change how they're perceived, it doesn't just affect their bank accounts, it potentially their place in cultural history. That's the kind of stakes that could drive extreme behavior to protect reputations. So here we are, Drama Fam. We've laid out all the allegations, all the patterns, all the suspicious coincidences and unanswered questions. We've got two rap legends putting their reputations on the line to expose what they claim is decades of industry manipulation and career sabotage. We've got a growing list of artists whose careers allegedly suffered mysterious setbacks right when they might have threatened hip-hop's royal couple. We've got award show manipulation allegations, stolen credit claims, and even darker suggestions about what happens to people who get too close to the truth. The question isn't whether this story is explosive. It obviously is. The question is whether it's true. And honestly, the pattern is starting to look too consistent to be coincidental. Are Jay Z and Beyoncé the perfect power couple they portray, or master manipulators who built their empire on others' destroyed dreams? I need you to help figure this out. What do you think is really happening here? Are 50 and M brave truth-tellers, or just stirring up drama for attention? Have you noticed patterns in artists' careers that support these allegations? And most importantly, if there are other artists you think might have been affected by this alleged system that we didn't mention, drop their names below. Let's build the complete picture together. Smash that like button if this investigation opened your eyes to some uncomfortable possibilities about the industry we all love. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, because trust me, this story is nowhere near over. We've got part 2 coming where we dive even deeper into the evidence, and what we found is going to shock you. And one more thing. While we were researching this video, we discovered some information that we literally can't put in this episode because of how sensitive it is. Let's just say the rabbit hole goes even deeper than what we've covered today, and involves some names that would absolutely break the internet if we said them out loud. That's all coming in part 2, but only if this video gets the support it deserves to show us you can handle the real tea. Until next time, keep questioning everything, and remember, the truth always comes out eventually. Peace.